Bonjour! This week we'll start Module 3 with Structure 3.1 and possessive adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe a noun. Remember that a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. A possessive adjective is a word that describes a relationship of possession with that noun. In English, this would be things like my dog. Which dog is it? My dog. Or our children. Which children are they? Our children. In French, all adjectives agree in number and in gender with the noun that they modify. If, for example, I'm talking about the white cat, I need to make white agree with cat. If I'm talking about the intelligent students, I need to make the word intelligent agree with students. The same is the case with possessive adjectives. I make the possessive adjective agree with the thing that is possessed. So what that gives us is several different ways to say the word my, or your, or his, or her, etc. Let's look at some examples. The masculine singular form of my is mon. The feminine singular form of my is ma. And the plural form of my is me. In other words, there are three ways to say the word my in French. If I'm talking about my father, because father is masculine, I will say mon père. If I'm talking about my mother, because mother is feminine and singular, I would say ma mère. But if I'm talking about my parents, because parents is plural, I would say mes parents. The chart here is similar to the chart that's on page 84 in your book. We'll be coming back to this several times, but let me give you some examples that might help clarify. Mon frère et ma sœur aiment le foot. My brother and my sister like soccer. Because brother is masculine, I've used the possessive adjective mon. Because sister is feminine, I've used the possessive adjective ma. My brother, masculine singular, and my sister, feminine singular, like soccer. Habitez-vous avec votre sœur et vos parents? Do you live with your sister and your parents? Because sister is singular, I've used votre, the singular form of your. And because parents are plural, I've used vos. Let's look at some other examples. Regardez Monsieur Leclerc. Il est avec sa femme et ses enfants. Look at Mr. Leclerc. He is with his wife and his children. Wife, femme, is feminine. So, because the adjective agrees with the thing or person that is possessed, I'm going to use the feminine form sa. Because children are plural, I'll use the plural form of the adjective to modify them. Ma tante Simone et mon oncle Renaud arrivent avec leur fille. My aunt Simone and my uncle Renaud are arriving with their daughter. Mes parents parlent rarement de leurs problèmes. My parents rarely talk about their problems. Parents is plural, my is plural. Problems is plural, there is plural. English has two possessives to talk about his and her, and those possessives correspond to the sex of the possessor. His, for stuff that belongs to a guy, and her, for stuff that belongs to a woman. French, on the other hand, has 3 possessives, and they correspond to the gender and number of the noun that's possessed. Son, ça, c'est. All of these 3 words can mean his or her. So, the masculine form here is for chien. Il aime son chien. He likes his dog. But elle aime son chien. She likes her dog. The dog is what's masculine. So the adjective is masculine as well. If we have a feminine object like maison, house, we see a similar case. Il aime sa maison. He likes his house. Elle aime sa maison. She likes her house. The word maison is feminine, so the adjective that describes it has to also be feminine. It doesn't matter that the sex of the possessor is masculine or feminine. Il aime ses oncles et ses tantes. He likes his uncles and his aunts. Elle aime ses oncles et ses tantes. She likes her uncles and her aunts. Because tante and oncle are both plural, his and her are both plural as well. Now you might say to yourself, oh, geez, that sounds so confusing because son, ça, and c'est can all mean his or her. But usually the meaning is clear in context. Alice habite une grande maison. Son jardin est magnifique. Alice lives in a big house. Her garden is magnificent. We know it's her garden because we're talking about Alice. The context makes it clear. Let's look at one last example. Mon oncle et son amie Suzanne, habitent à New York. My uncle and his girlfriend, Suzanne, live in New York. One thing that's important to note here is that, and we've said this before, French tongues and French mouths can't put 2 vowel sounds together. Even though this word is feminine, son ami, I'm going to use the masculine form of the word his, because otherwise if I used ça, I would have 2 vowels together. The way that the French solve this conundrum is to use the masculine form, to put an N next to the vowel or the silent H. I know this is a lot of information. Please go through this and listen to this video more than once so that you're familiar with it before we come to class. I promise it'll make more sense after we do some practice work with it, but watch the video a couple times, then take the quiz, and I'll see you in class.